like every weekend, I tend to give you guys an update on the box office, but this is just a big difference. This is Spider Man weekend, baby. This is all my Spider Man month stuff culminated into this final moment of what Brand New Day's opening weekend box office would be, and it overperformed like crack because early projections of Spider Man Brand New Day was it was supposed to open about $500 million, which is still a very big opening for a film, by the way. And all intents and purposes, I knew it would overperform. But dear God, I didn't think it was going to open to $927 million. It made 355 million here domestically, which is a really good opening for that, by the way. And internationally, it opened to 572. And I think the 927 is a round number. I think there's a little more to it than that. I think it's more like 927 and some change, maybe even 928. But right now it's 927 with all zeros behind it, which that's usually an implication that they haven't finished yet. So I think by like tomorrow night around 5 o'clock, which is usually when they update the numbers, we'll see what it actually is. So keep that in mind. But the story is just that Spider Man delivered the second biggest worldwide opening in movie history. It is the biggest opening of 2026, and it really only trails behind Endgame. And it also has put the Spider-Man franchise on the doorstep of just another record, and Sony could not have asked for a better launch. So pretty much what I'm saying is that Sony's never getting up that Spider-Man brand. They're never going to give up Spider-Man. It's just too much money in their pockets every single time. Now with their side characters, they tried to do that Madam Web and all that stuff. Dumb, trash. But like Spider Verse, Across the Spider Verse, the Spider-Man films, especially the last two, bro, they're not trying to give that up. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. Spider Man is the most profitable superhero of all time. Spider Man is also probably just the most popular superhero of all time. So there's just no way in hell Sony's giving up that. And I will say I'm very happy to say on a note that this movie opened up as well as it did because everyone was talking about how superhero fatigue is a thing and superhero movies are dying and cinema's dying and all this other crap, and it's just not true. And Spider-Man Brand New Day was awesome. Now we trail into the Odyssey. Now from what I saw was that the Odyssey is around 9/11, which is crazy, but the Odyssey is around 9/11 after this weekend. And despite the Spider-Man's heroic debut, the movie still earned about 51 million in its third weekend, and that's the kind of hole that turns a blockbuster into like a big hit. And it is pretty much on course to be 1 billion. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if both movies crossed a billion, if not by the middle of Spider-Man's going to cross a billion by the middle of the week. I wouldn't be shocked if the Odyssey crossed a billion after this next coming weekend. So its fourth weekend in theaters made it hit a billion. It's crazy because it's only been out for 13 days, or like 14 days. I think it's like officially 2 weeks or something like that. It was the 17th, right? So I think it's officially been 2 weeks since the Odyssey's been out. Madness, bro. Straight madness. Toy Story 5 is even still making money. It's at about 1.02 billion, 1.20. I saw it at 1.26 or something like that. It's still going. I'm not even mad, bro. Like it's just gonna do its thing. Minions and Monsters is around four something. Moana's tracking behind low, but I just think it's crazy that we got something this big, and we're pretty much on the verge of this will be our fourth and fifth billion-dollar film this year. Um, I think we're going to be landing on about $7 billion films because nothing else is going to make this much money until Doomsday, which is Dune and Avengers Doomsday. Both of those movies are going to open up and do well. I assume Dune will do a billion just on how big Dune Part Two was back in 2023, I believe. 2024 was Dune Two. Either way, Dune Two came out and it was a wrap, and that had made double what the first one made. So it's safe to say Dune Three might open up, not open up to a billion, but I think it will make a billion, being one of the big holiday movies of the year. And it's just safe to say that the theaters are probably some of the biggest winners. I think this weekend, I think it was about $428 million domestically. It is the biggest weekend of 2026 and one of the strongest weekends since the pandemic. And that means we've had two big weekends this year. We had Juneteenth weekend, which was a massive profit, and this is another massive profit. And I think this is a beautiful sign. I love the way this looks. And I've been saying this all year. Multiple movies winning is the key to the box office succeeding. I've been saying this all year. I have been very adamant about that. And we have Super Mario Galaxy movie at a billion, Toy Story 5 at a billion, Michael is at a billion, all these worldwide. Project Hail Mary was almost 700 million, and that was a big gamble, and it paid off very well. The Odyssey is on pace for a billion, and Spider-Man opened to 927 million. So we've got a lot of big films. And like I said, Devil Wears Prada absolutely overperformed. Obsession, Backrooms, Scary Movie. Scary Movie did really well. Like, we got a lot of very good performers this year, and this is probably one of the healthiest theatrical years since 2019. And the other thing I want to add in is the fact that I think after this weekend, the yearly total box office is about 6 billion, which keeps my argument of the box office is on track to clear a 10 billion this year. Now, it depends on what comes out in August. It depends on what comes out in September and how people go to the theaters then. I think October with Street Fighter, I think that Social Network sequel comes out then. Clayface, I do think is going to do well. I'd be sad if it didn't. It's just a lot riding on these last 4 months of the year to rack in $4 billion to make it a $10 billion year. 4 billion is a big number. It's hard to get it, but if they do it, then they do it. I mean, Doomsday pretty much sold out opening weekend. I'm pretty sure. So if Doomsday opens up the way Spider Man did, then shit, my God. But if not, then it doesn't. But we'll have to wait and see. Oh man, there's got to be other things coming out. But either way, I'm just glad to see that the box office is healthy again. Box office is very healthy. It has been steadily healthy all year long since March. I'm going to never not make that clear that we have a very good box office. Even if we don't clear a bill like 10 billion, if we get like 8 to 9 billion, I think we're still good. I think that's a good sign that the movie theaters has started to kind of gain the interest of the audience again. But we will see in these next 4 months what it looks like, and is are we going to have this again in 2027? Because I think the slate for 2027 is also kind of stacked, and we'll just have to wait and see. So congratulations to Spider-Man for being the biggest obvious opening of 2026, and congratulations to the Odyssey for making the grifters realize that they were not ready to admit their own foolishness. So yeah, I will leave it here. Let me know how you guys feel down below. Like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.